Comment by Salas Chukwu. Follow on Twitter at Times. On Saturday night in Kaliningrad, it seemed as though the Super Eagles were unaware of the stakes. A cursory glance at both team lists pre-game would seem to suggest there was little point to resisting. Croatia's midfield was brimming with talent, as well as established news, understandably driving Nigeria into a gloomy pessimism in the days leading up to the Group D opener. Yet, as was clear in two of the earlier games on the day, international football functions by a different set of rules. With not as much available to hothouse the synergy required, most star-studded teams often look like less than the sum of their parts, and can be stymied to a large extent. Australia put France through a ringer in the midday sun, before Iceland gave group favourites Argentina an almighty scare. If Gernot Rohr took any heart at all from those games, or indeed from any of Nigeria's rousing World Cup victories from the past, it was not apparent. It was a supine weakness exacerbated by the fact that Croatia were not themselves overly impressive. For all their midfield talent, this is a side that is based on creating attacking situations on the flanks. First off, the decision by Zlatko Dalic to introduce Andre Kramaric and move Luka Modric deeper was a nod to greater incision, and the Hoffenheim man had a great game, displaying clever movement to find pockets of space behind the Super Eagles midfield. That aside, Nigeria largely coped from open play, and were rarely overly worked. There were, instead, two chief failings: first, in the inability to meaningfully assert themselves going forward, and then in an area of weakness which has been painfully apparent for quite a while, defending set-piece situations. Having conceded in corner kicks against both England and Czech Republic in friendlies, it was expected there would be some conscious improvement, especially considering it was a known area of strength for Croatia. In the game between Peru and Denmark, immediately preceding this one, the South Americans, despite their height disadvantage, defended excellently on set plays. One incident in particular stood out, being aware of Christian Eriksen's preference for the low, whipped free kick behind the defensive line. Peru defended extremely deep, effectively shutting off that space. It was simple, but effective, and indicated they had worked directly on countering their weaknesses. There was little to suggest similar for Nigeria. Instead, Croatia went ahead via basic corner routine, a flick on at the near post to the far post, where the unfortunate Agenakaro Idibo, excellent for the most part, was overloaded. Their second, a penalty, similarly came by way of a corner, with William Troost-Ekong so panicked by Mario Mandzukic that he wrestled the Juventus man to the ground. It was a tad unlucky, but the tug was the desperate recourse of a defender forced to live by his own wits. The more cardinal indiscretion for the Super Eagles, though, was the total lack of attacking impetus of their own. While it was clear how Croatia was trying to attack, there was little sense of conviction in anything Rohr's side did, and a complete but not entirely surprising departure from what had obtained during qualifying. Odion Ayala was ridiculously isolated, with the energetic ball-carrying abilities of Idibo deployed farther behind. The team lacked the organizational skills needed to start attacks, with John Obi Mikel playing high up the pitch. The team lacked a creative spark in central areas, with Alex Iwobi marooned out on the flank. There is literally nothing that's happened tonight that I haven't been complaining about, right from when we were trouncing Algeria and Cameroon and creaming ourselves. To think I have to do an analysis for this. Sigh. Salas Chukwu, at Fiad Salas, June 16, 2018.